Hi, my name is Sarah Lebu. I just defended my PhD dissertation at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So I'm based in Chapel Hill, which is very beautiful down here. And I transitioning out of school to a postdoctoral fellowship job in the next few months. Really excited to be here. Oh, and I'm from Kenya.
Hi everyone, I am Sabita Adhikari. I am right now based in Sydney. So I am also a PhD candidate at the University of Sydney, and I'm also defending soon by next month. And yeah, right now I'm working as an associate lecturer in the University of Sydney. So I'm teaching humanitarian engineering, and I'm also from Nepal, and a lot of my work professionally has been based on working in water and sanitation in Nepal.
I'd I guess I've never really gone through a near peer mentorship experience. I've always had just the traditional experiences where you have an older, much more experienced mentor. So I sort of was curious about how like the near peer mentorship experience was going to be, and my expectations going into it were just hoping to get a really relatable relationship with my mentee. So I was hoping I'll get someone who is near in, perhaps even near in age, near in experience, perhaps even the stage in their career that's quite similar to mine, and then be able to just mutually share all experiences between the two of us and in a way that's really relatable. So for me, the word again I will underline is I was looking for something very relatable.
For me, it was also similar, like what Sarah started sharing. I had been to like few mentorship before, and it was again more traditional, where you have a person who have 25 or 30 year of experience in water and sanitation, and then we would be mentored under them. So it was like the program wouldn't say that there was a hierarchy, but hierarchy would come in naturally in those kind of traditional mentorship. So yeah, I hadn't been to any near peer before as well. And again, I was hoping that it would be more a shared experience because we would be on the same career stage. So I was hoping that, and it turned out to be a really expected experience together. Yeah. For me, I did do a good research on who I wanted to connect to, and there were a few people there I was interested. But as soon as I saw Sarah's profile, and then it just clicked me on the first see. I was like, she was doing her PhD on similar topic on water sanitation, hygiene, and also we were on almost on the same career path. The topic were really not very exactly similar, but they had similar themes on our research topic as well. And yeah, I think after I saw Sarah's profile, I was like, oh, I had just called the click, and I just approached, and then it just worked well.
I think it's really the same for me. What Sabita is saying, what really made me click with her was that we had a lot of commonality with our research areas, our career paths, and where we wanted to go. So that it just seemed natural that we would sort of like align. But the other thing that I was looking for, I was doing my own interviewing while just connecting with different people on the platform. And I was sort of looking for some soft skills. I was interested in someone who seemed very sort of passionate and keen about just the mentorship itself. I feel like as a person, I've always been interested in just providing mentorship or even receiving mentorship myself. So seeing how much energy and enthusiasm Sabita brought, even just in her messaging, how responsive she was, it I was like, she wants this. She wants this as much as I want it. So it really did click to me. And also I think Sabita, I guess you're really good at, I would say, volunteering information upfront. You did a really good job with your introduction emails, just volunteering information about where you are at, some of the challenges to discuss with the mentorship program. I thought that was very helpful for me to like make a decision and match with you. So
Yeah, for me, I think a lot of things went very well. Also, like previously on some of the mentorship program I had been, I don't know if the dynamics was different. I After the mentorship stopped, I think I have never connected back to them. But I think with Sarah, what surprised me is like we really connected. And I think this mentee-mentor relationship, it's kind of turned and transformed now into a very nice friendship and also like a sisterhood. And when we were having something, like when I got my job, I was like, hey, I got this job. And then she was rooting out for me. And then she was defending, she sent me a text. So I think what really surprised me, I never thought that this would go very long. I was thinking now it would be like stopped after the mentorship program stopped. So I think that's a really sweet and good surprise for me having this long-term relationship. And also like because we are working on the same sector and we have similar research interest, and I think we are also talking about few collaborations that we can do in future working in the research or in the same sector. I think this has been a really good friendship and I think a potential future collaborations as well.
I think you said it perfectly. I can't add more. Just having a friendship come out of it and just something more long term and even thinking about future collaborations for sure, I will say. I maybe not a lot of challenges, but we did find our rhythm really early on once we connected. I suppose because we're in two completely different time zones, it was a little bit difficult at first to lock down some time to meet between us. And I think we had trouble connecting through the platform before, and then we're like, okay, maybe we should just pivot and use WhatsApp because we realized, okay, perhaps day to day we rely more through like WhatsApp communication, and that will be been easier for both of us. So we quickly agreed on that and pivoted to an easier communication channel that was more natural for both of us. And I guess one thing that helped us was to set recurring meetings. That was very helpful, I guess, because it's very difficult to like, I mean, it's easy to get absorbed in into like life and forget about, oh, I have to check in with Sabit at some point. So having a recurring meeting was really helpful. And I also have to commend like just what the program is doing, sending notifications through push. You have 2 weeks to connect with your mentee. Very helpful. And we kept saying, oh, how many points do we have now? So I guess those little cues and just incentives that came through the platform, I guess were really helpful to both of us. And also just finding a platform that was more natural for us to communicate helped, I guess, counter the challenge of scheduling and finding a time that works for both of us.
I think it was similar for me. I remember in one of the meetings through the Pushfire platform, I think we both were in the meetings, but then we couldn't meet somehow. And then I was like, is the meeting time wrong? Because the time zone was so, I couldn't comprehend the time zone in the beginning. So I think we had some challenges navigating the Pushfire meeting. And then we shifted to Zoom and then to WhatsApp when we were in our field work. And the other challenge was again, I was understanding the timing between Sydney and North Carolina. And then we went to Kenya and then to Nepal. It was like again a different time zone. And I also remember being like talking reality. We shifted few meetings because we had our own challenges in the field work. But I think in those time having a quick WhatsApp message was really handy. And then yeah, I think it's a very basic challenge, but time zone was a big thing for both of us. Yeah, definitely. One thing again, I think I missed saying before was we were both working on WASH and like the top research topic was like we were both doing our doctoral degrees together. But also one thing we really shared was we both are international students. Sarah coming from Kenya to US and me coming from Nepal to Australia. So we both have our like because international students on their own have so many challenges being far away from their families and also PhD journey can be quite lonely sometimes. Even I have amazing circle of friends here. So it was, I think this mentorship for me has been a really stood out in terms of like, it really allowed me to be vulnerable. So I shared so many things with Sarah that she was also facing so many challenges. So I really felt at ease on being vulnerable on discussing different challenges that I had in academia and also in my personal life. So I think this has been a really good shared experience together. And I think this mentorship has definitely built up my confidence in terms of like everyone has their own challenges. And this journey has been really fulfilling for me.
One thing that I took away from, well, I still take away from this relationship really is that we were both really intentional about having structured meetings. We didn't want it to be very formal and like serious tone, but we were keen on using our time really well. So each time we came into a meeting, we set an agenda with one or two things and said, okay, what do we want to accomplish here? So it will be like, okay, let's talk about the mentorship we are receiving as graduate students, or like challenges in the field. And our conversations were always very focused and very intentional, which I find really helpful, especially if you're a graduate student and you don't have a lot of time. I think that's one thing that I'm taking away into like my future career, even my social relationships. Just thinking about using time really well by setting agendas and sticking to those, I think was really helpful. But also personally, I feel like I've learned a lot just around near peer leadership. I don't know what that means, but I feel like I learned that you can have a leadership role to play even amongst your peers. So when I think about other graduate students going through the program with me, I've always since just stepped up when there's an opportunity for me to lead and provide guidance on something based out of my experience at Sabita, which I really appreciate. Can add perhaps being just curious, and you don't have to feel like you should have all the answers. So being a mentor in this relationship, I feel like at the beginning I was really concerned about not having enough tools and just skills to offer mentorship to someone else. I guess I was thinking about it traditionally. So I kept saying, okay, what if Sabita has a question or a challenge and I cannot support it? But then going through the entire experience, I guess I didn't have to worry about having the right answers. Sometimes what someone else needs is just a sounding board, or just talk about your own experiences and things like that. So I guess for people who are thinking about signing up for this near peer mentorship program, I would suppose do not hesitate because you worry that you do not have all the right answers. You don't always have to have the answers.
Yeah, and I think from my side as a mentee, again, I think my recommendation would be similar, like be curious. And again, mentorship is always a two-way work and connection. So even if your mentor have agendas and things on like, okay, we should work on this on next meeting. So put your effort in. I think that if you once you put the effort, it's really fulfilling. And you never know how this relationship can go ahead, and there will be so many opportunities in future that you would definitely feel that this mentorship was really fulfilling. And then so yeah, just go for it, and do your work. So that's my recommendation.